The first thing you need to know is that kids are not as innocent as you think, especially when they are left alone. I learned this the hard way when I heard the story of my cousin neighbors, the Adebanjo family. Their two kids, Tond and Ada, were the kind of children you'd see at church every Sunday, dressed neatly, sitting quietly. Nobody suspected they were capable of anything out of the ordinary. But one afternoon changed everything. It started on a hot Wednesday afternoon in a quiet Nigerian neighborhood. Mr. and Mrs. Adebanjo both worked full-time jobs in the city, so they often left Tond, 12, and Ada, 9, alone at home after school. The arrangement was supposed to work smoothly. Tond was the responsible older brother, and Ada was the obedient little sister. But as you soon see, children have a way of surprising us. That day, their parents were running late, stuck in Lagos traffic as usual. The sun was blazing, and power was out again. With no TV or fan, Tond and Ada were bored out of their minds. Tond had an idea. "Let's play a game," he suggested. Ada tilted her head, curious. "What kind of game?" Tond grinned mischievously. "Let's try the mirror thing that Jide talked about at school." Now, Jide was the kind of kid who always had the craziest stories. Just last week, he told Tond and his friends about Oju Inu, a game where you light a candle in front of a mirror, say some words, and wait for a spirit to appear. "It's just a game," Jide had said. "Nothing happens for real." Tond explained the rules to Ada, who hesitated. "What if it's dangerous?" she asked, clutching her doll tightly. "Don't be a baby," Tond teased. "It's not real. It's just for fun." Against her better judgment, Ada agreed. They found a candle from the kitchen drawer and set it up in front of the large mirror in their parents' bedroom. The room was dimly lit, the curtains drawn to block out the afternoon Sunday. "Okay," Tond began, lighting the candle. "We're supposed to say, 'Oju Inu, show yourself,' 3 times while staring into the mirror." Ada's hands were trembling, but she nodded. Together, they chanted, "Oju Inu, show yourself. Oju Inu, show yourself. Oju Inu, show yourself." For a moment, nothing happened. The flickering candlelight cast shadows across the room, but the mirror showed nothing unusual. Ada let out a nervous laugh. "See? I told you it's just a dumb game." But just as she turned to blow out the candle, Tond grabbed her arm. "Wait. Did you see that?" "See what?" Ada asked, her voice shaking. Tond pointed to the mirror. "I thought I saw something move." Ada stared at the mirror, her breath quickening. At first, it looked normal. But then, they both saw it. A faint shadow, like a figure standing behind them. They turned around quickly, but no one was there. When they looked back at the mirror, the shadow was gone. "It's just our imagination," Tond said, though his voice lacked confidence. "Let's try again." Ada shook her head. "No way. This is creepy." But Tond was already chanting again. This time, the shadow didn't just appear. It grew. Slowly, it morphed into the shape of a man, tall and broad, his face obscured by darkness. Ada screamed, but no sound came out. The figure raised a hand and pointed directly at them. Tond grabbed Ada's arm and yanked her out of the room. They slammed the door shut, panting. "What was that?" Ada cried, tears streaming down her face. "I don't know," Tond admitted. "Maybe it's part of the game." They stayed in the living room, too scared to go back upstairs. Hours passed, and the house grew darker as the sun set. When their parents finally arrived home, Tond and Ada ran to them, babbling about what had happened. But when Mr. Adebanjo went to check the bedroom, everything looked normal. The candle was gone, and the mirror showed nothing but their reflections. "Stop making up stories," their father scolded. You're too old for this nonsense. That night, Tond and Ada shared a room, too scared to sleep alone. Around midnight, they heard it. A faint tapping sound, coming from upstairs. Tond wanted to ignore it, but Ada whispered, "What if it's the man?" Gathering his courage, Tond crept out of bed and peeked into the hallway. The tapping grew louder, more insistent. It was coming from their parents' room. Summoning every ounce of bravery, Tond opened the door. The mirror was glowing faintly, and in its surface, he saw the man again. But this time, the figure was smiling. Tond slammed the door shut and ran back to Ada. "We need to tell Mama and Baba," he whispered. But when they went to wake their parents, they found the couple fast asleep, completely unaware of the strange events. The next morning, the mirror was gone. Their parents claimed they had sold it to a neighbor. Tond and Ada never spoke of that night again, but they always wondered, was it really a game, or had they unleashed something they couldn't understand? What would you do if you were Tond or Ada? Do you think the mirror was haunted, or was it just their imagination? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more spine-chilling stories.